the Lakers and the Warriors, the Bucks and the Nets play on opening night, and here are my predictions. I think the Nets will win. Nothing. Nah, everyone thinks the Nets is gonna win, but I don't think so. I think people are disrespecting the Bucks. Giannis looks like he's gotten better. If you guys don't remember, the last 4 games of the finals, he went on a complete tear, culminating with that 50 plus point performance in the finals. So Giannis, it looks like his mid-range, his 3-pointers have gotten better. He has that silkier shot form. It's starting to look like Middleton. So I think Giannis is just going to keep improving. He's a defensive force. He's an offensive force. The Bucks don't have anything to stop Giannis. They're not going to have Kyrie. Obviously, the Bucks have had their own distraction with Kyrie, and is he there? Is he not there? We got Kyrie playing pickup football on the field, so he's not going to be there. And the Bucks have everyone. They have Middleton. They have a Holiday. They got all their boys running it back. I think the Bucks are going to put the league on notice. I think Giannis is going to put the league on notice. I think he's going to 30 plus points. If there's any bets that you could put, I think Giannis goes for 30, 35. I wouldn't even be surprised if he gives them a 40 piece to start the season. And but I will say this: it is ring night, which it's good and it's bad. You know, it's ring night. You don't want to lose on opening night, on ring night. You're getting your ring. It's a special moment. You know, it's what you've been dreaming for your whole life. Just getting an NBA ring, being able to lift the trophy at the end of the season. So I think it could be good and bad because your emotions are flowing. You know, you're feeling everything that you felt right when you won the finals. It all comes back to you, and you're all gooey, you're all happy. And from what I could recall from the Lakers last year, watching them in the ring night ceremony, I think they took that opening game lightly. They were just happy to be there. They were just super excited that they got a ring. Everybody was just in a good mood. You could tell that LeBron wasn't taking it too seriously. He kind of wasn't like in a joyful mood. There were like just a lot of banter, a lot of celebrations in the bench. So I will say this: ring night could be a distraction. You just focused on remembering last season, remembering your championship from last year, and I feel like sometimes you focus too much on last year, and you know. It's fine because you won the championship. You want to have a night to remember it, and it's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it is a night where you remember a lot of last season. And this is about this year. This is about this season and moving forward. So I will say that opening night, ring night, it could be a distraction in some sense, but I think the Bucks, they're a better team. They're led by Giannis. I think they're gonna come out and maybe start a little slow because they are gonna be feeling, you know, all gooey, all nice about getting their rings, you know, finally being able to put it in their fingers. So it's gonna be a great night. Might be a little bit of distraction. They might start a little bit slow, but I think the Bucks ultimately impose themselves on the Nets and get that victory. And they put the league on notice. I think Giannis, he's gonna showcase a little bit more of that mid-range, that 3-point silky shot that it looked in the preseason. He's gonna showcase a little bit more of that. And yeah, I just think the Bucks are going to win. I by no means do I think the Nets are going to be bad this year. Even without Kyrie, I think Harden and KD, if they stay healthy, that's still the best duo in the NBA, especially in the East. But I just think the Bucks, I think a lot of people are disrespecting them. They have them like number 2 or number 3 on their power rankings. I got them as number 1. I think Giannis takes that next step. If that jumper looks like it did in preseason, it's over for the league, man. It's bad. It's bad. And the second match today, Lakers versus Warriors. I'll start with the Warriors real quick. I think the Warriors will be dangerous. They're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be a threat to go all the way to the finals, to come out of the West. I still believe in Clay. I don't know how great he's going to be defensively, which he was amazing before the injury. But I know he's still going to be able to shoot. He's not going to forget how to shoot. He's going to be a sniper. And I think he'll be decent on defense. Hopefully he surprises me and he keeps that really high level at defense. So I think the Warriors are going to be dangerous. I think they're going to make the playoffs. And I do believe that they are going to be one of the teams that you kind of, you know, get a little worried about once the postseason comes. But for opening night, you know, they still don't have Clay. They're still gelling together. I think it's just a little too soon for the Warriors. And the Lakers, you know, they got a healthy AD, healthy LeBron. I think it's also going to be a little sloppy for the Lakers trying to mesh Westbrook, AD, LeBron. We'll see how they get all 3 of those guys going. So I do think it's gonna be a little sloppy from both teams. Lakers, they're gonna try to find their chemistry. Warriors, they're trying to find their footing still without Klay Thompson. But ultimately, I think the Lakers have the better players, so I do think they're gonna win. And I believe it's gonna be a sloppy game. I don't think it's gonna be super like I wouldn't say entertaining, because I do believe it's gonna be entertaining regardless. But I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of turnovers, if there's some balls that get thrown out of bounds because people aren't in the right positions. So I would say to expect some errors, expect a good amount of turnovers. But ultimately, I think the Lakers, with their superior talent at this moment, I think the Lakers get the victory and they start 1-0. But overall, I just think this is a great slate of games. I think the NBA understands that the Warriors are going to be a dangerous team this season. That's why they're giving them this opening night slot. I think the Lakers are going to be, one of the protagonists this season. Obviously, it's the Lakers. They added Russell Westbrook. We'll see how that experiment goes. The NBA knows that. They get that opening night bid. And Bucks and Nets, we saw the great series they had last offseason, last postseason. So I think that's a worthy opponent for the Bucks. But overall, I'm just excited for the NBA season to be back. It's been a long, 6-7 months since we last had, or maybe like 3-4 months since we last had, NBA action. It's gonna be fun to have the fans back in the arenas. I think almost everyone's gonna have full arenas. So it's just, I'm just super pumped for this season. It's gonna be a great season, and I think it starts with an amazing opening night and 2 great matches. So make sure to watch those 2 matches.